Good morning, everyone. Hope we're all doing well. I know we are. For those of you who'd like to boost your immune system, go to Alaska Jacket Tea. Remember, you get 10% off and free freight for being from the channel. And you got to go back a month and a half into the description box because I haven't been putting anything in the description box for quite a while, ever since we've been here. This computer it just works a lot different than my other, the one at home. And then for those of you who would like to learn more about the Q-Post, the vaccines, Tartaria, go to communityreviews.org. John Maddox does a great job of keeping everything updated for you. And I will have him and Strack on tomorrow morning. And then after that will come Peter. And then on Sunday will be Brenda. And for those of you that are new, you want to learn more about what they've all been saying, just go back every Saturday. Most Saturdays is when I have Strack and John on, as well as Peter, and then Sundays is with Brenda. And so, yes, and Brenda has a lot of information about religion and other things related to that. You're going to find it very interesting. Let's go ahead and dig into some of the stuff here, into this article here. So DOJ targets Antifa-sponsored social media streamers. So leftist social media streamers collecting Antifa paychecks may soon find themselves defunded, deplatformed, and desperately seeking new avenues to reach their fawning liberal fans. Excuse me. Today, all federal law enforcement agencies are scheduled to submit intelligence files on Antifa and Antifa adjacent activity to the FBI, a crucial step toward identifying Antifa's bankrollers and recipients of terrorist organizations' funds. Earlier this year, President Trump labeled Antifa a domestic terrorist organization, a long overdue move aimed at crippling Antifa's influence. Leftist extremism, the administration argues, has caused a rise in unacceptable physical violence. Violence against immigration officers and a surge of credible threats against administration officials, such as Dan Bovino, and Stephen Miller, Kash Patel, and Trump himself. Assaults on ICE personnel have increased by 1,500% since Trump began the immigration crackdown. Fearing for their safety, administration personnel have had to move onto military bases and hire private security. The predominant threats that once came from legacy liberal media now come from young, typically Gen Z 20-somethings, Twitch streamers, TikTokers, and YouTubers who have miraculously amassed massive subscriber bases in an inordinately brief period. The DOJ, our source said, has been acquiring indisputable proof that several channels, besides collecting $20,000 to $50,000 a month in advertising revenue, receive monthly payouts from shell corporations Antifa has created solely to spread falsehoods about President Trump and his administration. Our source name-dropped two examples. YouTubers Harry Sisson, 23 years of age, and Jack Cochirella Collectively, they have more than 3.6 million followers on YouTube and 4.1 million on TikTok, and are, per our source, known agent provocateurs and recipients of Antifa funds. Sisson, who publishes 7 to 10 videos a day, uses clickbait headlines and AI-made thumbnails to generate views. 90% of his recent titles include disingenuous texts like AOC ends Trump's term, Trump term ended by mega revolt, Trump's term ends after this, Susie Wiles interview ends Trump's term, and so on. If Sisson's fabulous titles were proper, Trump would have been ejected from the Oval Office in January. They, along with a myriad other leftist and liberal influencers, including Hamas-loving Hassan Piker and his adoring fanboys, are on Antifa's pay list as well. We hear people screeching, arrest Rachel Maddow, arrest Jen Psaki, but they're irrelevant now. Hardly anyone watches them. Mainstream media is dead. It's this new breed of young influencers pulling millions of views. Antifa loves them, and they're on Antifa's payroll, our source said. According to our source, the DOJ won't attack those channels until it gets sufficient evidence of criminality to defeat them in court. As it stands now, the DHS can seize their personal and business web pages and knock them off of TikTok. But YouTube is a different animal, our source said. YouTube, owned by Google and Alphabet Inc., has a messy history of shadow banning and demonetizing conservative voices, while amplifying and promoting liberal ideology. Its discriminatory practices began under Horseface CEO Susan Wojcicki and continued after Indian homosexual Neil Mohan assumed her mantle. Mohan has systematically silenced conservatives. The latest being Lily Gaddis, a slender, attractive white female whose YouTube videos championed opposition to the Great Replacement. We, right now, have concrete data showing that just YouTube marginalized or point blank shut down 20 or 25 conservative voices this year, and at the same time promoted almost all never-Trumpers. If they get money from Antifa, they're Antifa, our source said. This isn't infringing free speech, he added. It's seeing who's left after we shut off the flow of Antifa money. A bunch of these pukes, I'd guess, will go dark. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But don't be surprised if you hear about a crap load of them getting arrested for tax evasion and inciting sedition. So, now you know why a lot of people, there are some people who are flooding back into YouTube. But the fact is that for those of us who had gotten kicked off before, we're well aware of the fact that we still have a bunch of anti-conservative people running YouTube. And so, anyway, or they're embedded in there. Anyway, that is all for now. I want to thank you all for your support, and thank you for supporting the sponsors of the channel: Gracie's Garage up in Worcester, Bears Products, CommunityReviews.org, Alaska Chaga Tea, Tails Artwork, and Kevin Richards Books. God bless you all and have a good day.